Did you know that some foods you might consider healthy could actually be causing your creatinine levels to rise? It's surprising, right? But it's true. Seemingly nutritious and harmless foods like dairy, bananas, or even nuts can put a strain on your kidneys and cause high creatinine levels. For those of you who might be unfamiliar, creatinine is a waste product produced by your muscles during energy production for normal activities. It's filtered out by your kidneys. However, when your kidneys aren't functioning properly, creatinine can build up in your blood, indicating kidney damage or issues. And, if left untreated, this can lead to even more serious kidney complications, so it's crucial to manage your creatinine levels. Now, managing high creatinine levels isn't just about taking medication. Your food choices can make a big difference too. So, in today's video, we're going to walk you through the 9 foods that you should avoid if you want to keep your creatinine levels in check. But don't worry, we're not just here to tell you what to avoid. We'll also give you some great alternatives to keep your diet both delicious and kidney-friendly. After all, you can still enjoy tasty meals without putting your kidneys at risk. So, let's begin with the number 1 on our list, red meat. Now, you might be thinking, but red meat is so tasty, and I've always heard it's packed with protein. And yes, you're right. Red meat is a great source of protein, but it's also one of the foods that can be problematic for those dealing with high creatinine levels or kidney issues. Let me explain why. Red meat, like beef, lamb, and pork, is rich in protein. While protein is essential for muscle building and repairing tissues, it can put extra stress on your kidneys when consumed in large amounts. This is because your kidneys have to work overtime to filter out the waste products that come from protein metabolism. When they're already compromised, like in cases of high creatinine, eating too much red meat can lead to an accumulation of waste in the blood, worsening kidney function. But red meat doesn't just have protein, it also contains creatine, a compound found in muscle tissue. When you consume red meat, your body breaks down creatine into creatinine, which gets filtered by your kidneys. If your kidneys aren't working properly, they may struggle to filter out the creatinine, causing higher creatinine levels in the bloodstream. This puts even more strain on your kidneys, especially over time. As if that weren't enough, red meat is also typically high in phosphorus and saturated fat, both of which can further stress your kidneys. Excess phosphorus can cause calcium to build up in your blood and bones, while too much saturated fat can lead to cardiovascular problems, which often go hand in hand with kidney disease. But don't get me wrong, protein is still important. The key is moderation and choosing the right types of protein. If you're a meat lover, you don't have to cut out red meat entirely, but you might want to limit your intake and explore alternatives that are gentler on your kidneys. Now, let's talk about some great kidney-friendly protein alternatives. Think lean poultry, fish, or plant-based proteins like lentils or tofu. These options provide you with the nutrients your body needs, but they are much easier on your kidneys. They're also lower in phosphorus and potassium, which are critical factors when managing kidney health. So the next time you're craving a juicy steak, consider reaching for a grilled chicken breast or a fillet of salmon instead. It's all about making those small kidney-friendly swaps that can really make a difference over time. Now, let's move on to food number 2 on our list, dairy products. You might be surprised to hear that dairy, which many of us consider an essential part of our diet, can actually cause issues for people dealing with high creatinine levels and kidney problems. While dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt are packed with calcium and other nutrients, they can also be very high in phosphorus and potassium, minerals that need to be carefully managed when you have kidney disease. The issue is that when your kidneys aren't functioning well, they have a harder time filtering out excess phosphorus and potassium from your blood. This can lead to an imbalance in these minerals, which could cause complications like weakened bones or elevated potassium levels, which affect heart health. Dairy can also be high in protein, and while protein is important, too much of it can put added stress on your kidneys. But don't worry, that doesn't mean you have to give up dairy completely. There are great kidney-friendly alternatives that can give you similar satisfaction without all the added risks. For example, Plant-based milk options like almond milk or rice milk are low in potassium and phosphorus and are excellent substitutes. Non-dairy cheeses made from nuts or soy are also a great option, giving you that cheesy flavor without the negative effects. If you enjoy yogurt, look for dairy-free varieties made from coconut or cashews. Many of these alternatives are fortified with calcium and nutrients that can still support your health without putting a strain on your kidneys. So, while dairy can be a tricky food for kidney health, there are plenty of alternatives to help you keep your diet both delicious and kidney-friendly. Moving forward, the third food on our list to avoid is bananas. Bananas are often seen as a healthy snack, packed with vitamins and fiber, but when it comes to managing kidney health, they can actually be problematic. Why? The issue lies in their high potassium content. Potassium is an essential mineral that helps regulate your heart and muscle function. But if you have kidney issues, as mentioned earlier, your kidneys struggle to remove excess potassium from your blood. When potassium builds up, it can lead to dangerous complications, including heart arrhythmias, or irregular heartbeats, or muscle weakness. In fact, bananas are known for being one of the highest potassium-rich fruits, with just one medium banana containing around 400 to 450 milligrams of potassium. For people with high creatinine levels or kidney disease, this can easily exceed the recommended daily intake, making it a food to avoid or consume in very small amounts. But don't worry, you don't have to miss out on fruit altogether. There are plenty of lower potassium fruits you can enjoy, such as apples, berries, or grapes. These options are not only kidney-friendly, but also packed with antioxidants and vitamins that will keep your body feeling great. So, the next time you're craving a fruity snack, reach for a smaller serving of low-potassium fruits to keep your kidneys happy and your creatinine levels in check. Next, at number 4, we have processed foods. Processed foods are everywhere, and they can be super tempting, right? From packaged snacks to frozen meals, they're quick, convenient, and often loaded with flavor. But when it comes to kidney health, these foods are not your friend. Here's why. First off, processed foods are typically packed with sodium, phosphorus additives, and unhealthy fats. High sodium intake can cause your body to retain water, leading to high blood pressure, which further stresses the kidneys. The phosphorus additives often found in packaged meats and snacks can harm your kidneys over time by causing calcium buildup in the blood and bones. This can lead to weakened bones, heart disease, and other complications. Lastly, the unhealthy fats in processed foods, like trans fats, contribute to cardiovascular problems, which frequently occur alongside kidney disease. If you have high creatinine or kidney issues, consuming processed foods regularly can push your kidney function further down, making it harder to manage your health. These foods might also be high in artificial sweeteners, preservatives, and other chemicals that put an extra burden on your already compromised kidneys. So, if you have high creatinine or kidney concerns, eating processed foods too often can worsen the situation. Now, you might be wondering, but what about cravings? What can I snack on instead? Great question. Luckily, there are plenty of delicious and kidney-friendly options you can make at home that will leave you feeling satisfied without putting extra strain on your kidneys. For example, instead of reaching for those salty chips, why not try some air-popped popcorn? Making your own popcorn at home is so simple. You can use a popcorn maker or even just a pot on the stove with a little olive oil. Once it's popped, sprinkle on a little salt and your favorite spices. Maybe go for a spicy kick with chili powder or a little cinnamon for a sweet twist. It's light, crunchy, and completely free of all those harmful additives you'll find in store-bought varieties. If you're craving something with a bit more texture, a veggie dip is a great way to go. You can make hummus right at home with just a few ingredients. All you need are cooked chickpeas, a bit of tahini, olive oil, lemon juice, and a dash of garlic powder. Blend everything until smooth, and you have a creamy, flavorful dip. Pair it with fresh veggies like cucumber slices, carrots, or bell peppers, and you've got a snack that's both refreshing and nutritious. When that sweet craving hits, a fresh fruit salad can really hit the spot. Toss together kidney-friendly fruits like berries, apples, or pears, and top it with a drizzle of honey. It's naturally sweet and packed with vitamins and fiber. Plus, it'll give you a little hydration boost, which is always good for kidney health. Or, if you're looking for something a bit more substantial, a veggie wrap can be both satisfying and healthy. Grab a whole wheat tortilla and fill it with fresh veggies like spinach, cucumber, and bell peppers. You can even add a little hummus or a slice of grilled chicken for some extra protein. It's a tasty and nutritious snack that won't harm your kidneys, unlike the processed alternatives you'd typically reach for. Instead of diving into the junk food aisle for a quick snack, consider these easy homemade options. They're not only kidney-friendly, but are also full of flavor and nutrients, which will keep you feeling energized and satisfied throughout the day. Now, let's move on to the next food on our list that you need to avoid: eggs. Eggs are often praised for being a rich source of protein and essential nutrients, but if you're dealing with high creatinine levels or managing kidney health, you might want to rethink your egg consumption. While they're an excellent protein source, eggs, especially the yolk, are high in phosphorus and saturated fat, both of which can put a strain on your kidneys. But don't worry, that doesn't mean you have to give up eggs entirely. The key is moderation and making smarter choices. You can still enjoy the nutritional benefits of eggs without putting your kidneys at risk by opting for egg whites instead of whole eggs. Egg whites are an excellent source of protein, but are much lower in phosphorus and saturated fat than the yolks. If you're missing the richness and texture that the yolk provides, try using a combination of egg whites and a small amount of egg yolk. This way, you can still enjoy the flavor while reducing the phosphorus content. Alternatively, there are many plant-based egg substitutes available that are made from ingredients like chickpea flour, tofu, or mung beans. These substitutes offer a great source of protein without the kidney concerns that come with traditional eggs. You can also experiment with incorporating egg whites into kidney-friendly recipes like omelets, scrambled eggs, or even baked goods. Just remember to keep your portions in check and choose plant-based alternatives when possible to lower your phosphorus intake. Moving forward, food number 6, canned foods. Canned foods might seem like a convenient and cost-effective option, especially when you're in a hurry or don't feel like cooking, but they can be a hidden culprit when it comes to managing kidney health. So, let's talk about why you might want to rethink those canned beans, veggies, and soups if you're dealing with high creatinine levels. One of the main issues with canned foods is their high sodium content. Sodium is added to canned goods as a preservative and to enhance flavor. Unfortunately, when you're managing kidney health, too much sodium can be harmful. It can lead to high blood pressure, which places extra strain on your kidneys. Additionally, excess sodium in the body can cause fluid retention, resulting in swelling, especially in your legs, feet, and ankles. But that's not all. Canned foods can also be packed with phosphorus, another mineral that can be harmful to kidney function when it builds up in your blood. This is particularly true for canned meats, as they tend to have added phosphates that help preserve the food and maintain its color. These phosphates, though, are not well regulated by your kidneys when they're compromised. So, what should you do when you're craving something convenient but don't want to hurt your kidneys? Well, the good news is that there are plenty of healthy, kidney-friendly alternatives. Instead of reaching for a can of beans or soup, try fresh or frozen vegetables and legumes. Fresh produce has significantly less sodium and phosphorus, and they offer a wealth of vitamins and minerals that your kidneys will love. For example, if you're in the mood for soup, you can make a simple, homemade vegetable soup with fresh ingredients. Just toss in some low-potassium vegetables like carrots, bell peppers, zucchini, and spinach, and add a low-sodium broth to keep the flavors rich without the excess salt. You can also cook dried beans yourself, which allows you to control the amount of salt or seasoning you add, giving you a kidney-friendly, homemade option. When it comes to canned fruits, it's best to opt for fresh fruits or ones that are frozen without added sugar or syrup. Frozen fruits retain much of their nutritional value and are free from the added preservatives and excess sugar that canned fruits often contain. They're perfect for smoothies, snacks, or desserts. Food number 7. Nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds might seem like the perfect snack, packed with protein, healthy fats, and fiber. But when it comes to managing high creatinine levels or supporting kidney health, they can actually pose a challenge. While they are undoubtedly nutritious, they can be high in phosphorus and potassium, two minerals that need to be carefully regulated when your kidneys aren't functioning at their best. Nuts and seeds, especially varieties like almonds, sunflower seeds, and pistachios, can pack a high phosphorus punch, which may put extra strain on your kidneys. Now, does that mean you have to completely eliminate nuts and seeds from your diet? Not at all. It's all about moderation. A small handful of nuts, like walnuts or cashews, can still be part of a healthy, kidney-friendly diet. The key is to avoid eating them in large quantities. Instead, look for nuts that are lower in potassium and phosphorus, like macadamia nuts or hazelnuts. And always go for unsalted versions, as added sodium can further stress your kidneys. If you love snacking on seeds, consider switching to pumpkin seeds or flax seeds, which tend to be lower in potassium and phosphorus compared to other types. You can sprinkle them on salads, blend them into smoothies, or enjoy them on their own as a crunchy snack. Just remember to keep the portion sizes small. If you're craving that nutty flavor, but need to watch your potassium and phosphorus intake, try using small amounts of nut butter in your meals or snacks. Look for options with minimal added ingredients, or make your own at home for the best control over what goes into your food. Next, food number 8. Potatoes. Potatoes are a staple in many diets and are often seen as a comfort food, whether they're mashed, baked, or fried. But if you're managing high creatinine levels or trying to protect your kidneys, potatoes are one food you'll want to avoid, or at least limit significantly. While they might seem harmless, they're packed with high levels of potassium, a mineral that, when not filtered out properly by the kidneys, can cause serious health issues. Potatoes, especially regular white potatoes, are one of the most potassium-rich foods, and consuming them in large quantities can significantly raise your potassium levels. But don't worry, there are ways to still enjoy a satisfying, hearty meal without risking your kidney health. If you're craving that starchy comfort food, consider swapping out regular potatoes for lower potassium alternatives. Sweet potatoes are a better option since they have a lower potassium content and also provide additional vitamins and antioxidants. However, it's still important to eat them in moderation. Another trick is to remove the skins from regular potatoes. The skin contains much of the potassium, so peeling your potatoes before cooking them can reduce their potassium content. Additionally, soaking your potato slices in water for a few hours before cooking can also help leach out some of the potassium, making them a safer choice for those with kidney issues. If you enjoy mashed potatoes, try making them with cauliflower instead of regular potatoes for a creamy, low-potassium alternative that's just as satisfying. Or, for a crunchy snack, try baked zucchini or roasted carrots as a substitute for potato fries. These vegetables are lower in potassium, but will still give you that satisfying texture and flavor. It's all about finding creative ways to enjoy your favorite comfort foods while keeping your kidney health in mind. Moving forward, at food number 9, let's talk about avocados. They are often seen as the ultimate healthy fat, packed with heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, fiber, and a ton of essential vitamins and minerals. But when it comes to kidney health, especially for those with high creatinine levels, avocados can actually be a food to avoid. Surprised? Let me explain. Avocados are rich in potassium, an essential mineral that helps regulate fluid balance, muscle contractions, and nerve function. For most people, potassium is beneficial, but as mentioned before, for individuals with kidney problems, especially those with high creatinine levels, it can cause issues. In fact, they contain a high amount of potassium, about 975 milligrams per 100 grams, which is quite a lot, considering that most kidney patients are advised to limit their potassium intake. For reference, the recommended daily potassium intake for a healthy adult is around 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams, And those with kidney disease may be advised to stay closer to 2,000 milligrams or lower, depending on the stage of kidney disease. But does this mean you have to cut avocados out completely? Not necessarily. If you absolutely love avocados, the key is moderation. You don't have to avoid them entirely, but it's crucial to be mindful of how much you're eating. Instead of adding a whole avocado to your meal, consider using a small portion, or perhaps incorporating avocado into dishes that already have low potassium ingredients, balancing out the potassium content. If you're craving the creamy texture and healthy fats of an avocado, there are also some great substitutes available. For example, you can try using hummus made from kidney-friendly ingredients as a creamy dip or spread. Other good fat sources like olive oil or sunflower seed butter are also great alternatives that don't carry the same potassium concerns. And that wraps up our list of foods to avoid if you're working to lower creatinine and protect your kidneys. Remember, making small adjustments to your diet can make a big difference in managing kidney health. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tips on how to keep your kidneys in top shape. But that's not all. Remember, kidney health is closely linked to diabetes and overall metabolic balance. Managing blood sugar levels plays a huge role in protecting your kidneys from long-term damage. For more tips on managing diabetes and maintaining kidney function, be sure to check out our other channel, Health for Diabetics.